ladies and gentlemen, episode 20, the first episode of Highly Opinionated in the year 2025. I'm your co-host, Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, the best co-host in the game, Tim. What's up, brother? How you doing, my man?
What's good, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, bro. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year.
Absolutely. I just want, ladies and gentlemen, this guy, my co-host, Tim, the best in the game, the most knowledgeable about football, basketball, all sports. Just want to give my brother, my co-host, the love and appreciation he deserves. Go ahead, Tim, run with it, man.
Likewise, I appreciate it, man. I know they missed us last week, man, so we definitely got an action-packed show for this week, man. I apologize, y'all. I was on vacation seeing my grandmother in South Carolina, so y'all gotta forgive me. Had to spend time with the family, get a little break. You know what I'm saying? I get a little break, then I come back to 6 inches of snow. So I didn't really get a break because I've been working. So you know what I'm saying? I've been working, but you know what I'm saying? I'm ready for episode 20, man.
Hey, bro, I blame you for the snow. Your ass should have stayed where you was at with your grandmother. We would have been good. I blame you, bro. I blame you.
My slogan ain't no money like snow money, baby.
I hear that. We're going to have to talk about that offline. So I got you. We're going to talk about that offline. You was hiding from me, so we're going to talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, the best producer, the best editor, the best guy in this sports entertainment television producing game. Y'all see him at the bottom of the screen, Ross. Talk to him, Ross. What's up, brother? How you doing, my man?
What's good, Josh? How you feeling?
I'm good, brother. Happy 2025. Happy New Year to you.
Yes, sir. Happy New Year to both of y'all fellas.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to wish you guys who watch this show, hopefully we're the last to wish you a Happy New Year from me, Tim, Ross. Guys, thank you for your support. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys for rocking out with us in 2024. We plan to be better in 2025. We got some great moves, great adventures, great sponsorships coming up in 2025. So we look forward to seeing you guys grow with us. Once again, I want to thank the best co-host in the game, Tim. I want to thank the best Mr. Everything in the game, Ross. These guys, there is no Highly Opinionated without these guys. So these guys deserve their flowers. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys look at me as I'm the it guy. No, without Tim, without Ross, there is no show. So thank you guys. I love you guys. Let's rock out. Let's be the best we can be in 2025.
Likewise, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yes, go ahead, Ross.
So you already know to follow us on Instagram at highly opinionated __ and make sure y'all follow us on X at highly _SS. Y'all already on YouTube, so just go ahead and subscribe, like, leave a comment. We will comment back.
Absolutely. Tim, so we didn't have a show last week, so we didn't give the people what they want. You rather give the people what they want this week, brother?
Yes, sir. Let's get it.
Let's start off with college football round 2, college football playoff recap of round 2. Let's start off with the first game that we saw last week. Penn State and Boise State. Penn State beat Boise State 31-14. Penn State came out. They were aggressive from the jump. They led the first quarter 14-0. Boise State tried to make it a game. At a certain point in time in the game, it was 24-14. So it was a close point game. Penn State got away at the end with their dominant offensive line, dominant defensive line. Congratulations to Penn State. Penn State moves forward to the Orange Bowl, where they will play Notre Dame in the Orange Bowl. What was your thought process on this game, my brother?
Yeah, man. So this game pretty much went like I thought. Penn State dominated both O-line and D-line in the trenches. Boise State couldn't really get Genty going, so that's really the key to their offense. Their passing game is minimal, so they really couldn't do much. And Penn State just dominated, controlled time of possession, controlled the football. They also forced Genty to fumble twice. I think he only lost one, though. So, you know what I'm saying?
He lost both fumbles.
Oh, he lost. My fault. He lost both of them. So, shout out to Penn State, man. I'm looking for this Penn State Notre Dame game. But shout out to Coach,
James Franklin.
Coach Franklin and big one in Penn State.
Hey, bro, let me say this. So I've been very critical. I remember back when they played USC, I was critical of James Franklin at going to the Coliseum. Big win for James Franklin. If James Franklin could beat Notre Dame, that would be the biggest win of his career. No disrespect to them beating SMU. No disrespect to them beating Boise State. But in my mind, and I'm sure in your mind, they were favored to beat those teams. They should have beat those teams. You playing Notre Dame now? I mean, you playing Notre Dame now? Yeah. That would be a feather in his cap, as they say. So shout out to James Franklin, shout out to Penn State. Like you said, Ashton Genty, He ran the ball 30 times in this game, 30 attempts for 104 yards, 3.5 yards average. Boise State was never going to win this game. The Boise State quarterback had 3 interceptions. He threw for 304 yards, but he had 3 picks. Meanwhile, Penn State, Drew Allen, 13 of 25, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns. Katron Allen, 17 attempts, 134 yards. So Tyler Warren, the tight end, the All-American tight end from Penn State, 6 catches, 63 yards, 2 touchdown catches. Penn State, man, they're looking good. They play Notre Dame in the next round. Congratulations to James Franklin and Penn State on Wednesday. Oh, I'm sorry. Congratulations to James Franklin, Penn State on winning the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. The next game we're going to go over was the first game on New Year's Day. The Texas Longhorns, they beat Arizona State Sun Devils 39-31. And arguably the best game of the college football playoffs up to this date, 2 overtime game. Congratulations to Texans. Quinn Ewers, 20 of 30, 322 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Texas was leading this game majority for majority of the game. But your man, Cam Scatterbull, he threw for a touchdown pass, 42 yards. He ran for 143 yards and two touchdowns on the ground. This Arizona State team was gritty. They were grimy. They were just ready for the moment against Texas. And again, they lost by 8 in overtime, but I was thoroughly impressed. And this was the best game of the college football playoff so far.
No, for sure. Best game of the college football playoff, man. Scatterbull had a legendary performance in that game. Like you said, you gave out his numbers. That boy was balling. He was throwing up on the sideline, had to take out and all that. That boy was playing, man. That boy cold. And I think I said this before on the show. I personally thought he was the best running back in the country. That was no slight to Genty, but just the way he runs and how he plays, like he just, to me, he's a different breed of back. To me, like an old school back. But man, this game, man, this the play that made me mad. This game, man. So Arizona State went up in overtime. Mind you, it's 4th and 13, man.
Oh yeah, the last play of the game with Quinn Ewers saved Texas season. Go ahead, brother. Let them know.
4th and 13, bro. So I'm like, Arizona. I'm gonna walk y'all down to Arizona State shows blitz. So they blitzing everybody. Get A/B gap. They blitzing, right? Texas smartly calls a timeout. You know why they called the timeout to adjust the production? So,
yeah, absolutely.
Adjust the protection. So
absolutely,
we seen him coming. So he come in there. We saw they pre-showed it, right? So to me, why did Arizona State still do the same thing?
Tim, let me say this. We don't watch games together, ladies and gentlemen, but I'll say this with Tim. We get pissed off. We get, pardon my language, we think it's fucking stupid that you guys are gonna run the same play, they call a timeout, and then you're gonna run the same play after they call a timeout. What the hell are you thinking?
The same, like
go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
My fault. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm like, so then they line back up. I'm like, nah, they showing the same, like, and it's like they don't even like disguise it though. Like it's the same exact. Like y'all not going like fake drop back first and then send them, like, you know what I'm saying? Make them think, like, because when you blitz, you only want the running back, you want the offensive line to think just for a half a second. That's all I'm really trying to do. They showed the same blitz, man. They picked it up. I almost cried. I felt, that's how bad I felt for Scatterbull. I almost cried. That ball, and I don't know how the ball go over the kid here. That's another story for another day. But why they ain't disguise like that? That play made me mad. But shout out to Texas, man. Shout out to Quinn Ewers, because my boy was texting me on the phone like, boy, Quinn Ewers, he washed. He ain't looking good. I was like, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, man.
No,
shout out Texas.
Shout out to Texas. I never thought Quinn Ewers was a problem. You can play 2 quarterbacks. We'll get that. We'll get that down the line in the NFL game where you pick NFL playoff games this weekend with a team that should run a 2 quarterback system. But shout out to Quinn Ewers. Shout out to Steve Sarkisian. Shout out to Texas. They won 39-31. Congratulations to the Texas Longhorns. They move on in the next round to the college football playoff. The next game that we will go over, the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl. Ohio State beat Oregon 41-21. Ohio State, Will Howard was 17-26, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, the star of this game was a wide receiver by the name of Jeremiah Smith. He had 7 catches, 187 yards, 2 touchdown catches. He averaged 26.7 yards per catch. If this Ohio State team shows up every game, they'll be in Georgia for the national championship game. They'll be in Atlanta for the national championship game. That's where the national championship game is held. They'll be there. I do want to say this, though, about the playoff committee. Tim, you obviously know in previous episodes, man, you have went back and forth about the committee and do this right and do that right. Oregon got hosed. There's no reason why their first game should have been against Ohio State. There's no reason why. That's not cool. That's not good. Oregon was the only undefeated team in the country. The only undefeated team in the country. There's no reason why their first game out should have been against Ohio State. Nevertheless, this is where we are. This is where we at. Ohio State with Jeremiah Smith. Ohio State with Travion Henderson, 94 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns on the ground. Will Howard passing. If this Ohio State team shows up every week, they'll forget all about that loss at the end of the season at home against Michigan because they'll be raising the national championship banner in a couple weeks.
So this is why I don't like to panic, right? Remember when everybody was panicking? Oh, Ryan Day should get fired. He lost to Michigan. You know, everybody was panicking.
They were panicking, bro. They were.
Why panic? You still got opportunity. That wasn't the championship game. Why we panic? We didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? They beat us. Sometimes it go like that, right? So Ryan Day, not gonna lie to you, Ohio State has been the best team in the playoff so far. Like it's not even close. Like they dominated. Like this, this is what I don't like about Oregon, man. They always do this. They defensively they never physical enough, and then offensively, it's always cute to me. Like they do all them screen passes. Like it's too cute. It's cute football. I call it cute football. It's too cute. Like when you play against grown men, you gotta do some grown man things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happened. The cuteness ain't, you know what I'm saying? They ain't work well versus grown men. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I like Jeremiah Smith. He said, "Hey, look, if they play me 1-on-1,
it's over.
It's done. It's over.
It's done.
That was my rule. If 1-on-1, it's no way. It's no one in the world could cover me 1-on-1. Like you're insane." So once I saw that, I was like, "Yo, Ohio State got the game. Shout out to them." It's an interesting game versus Texas next week. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be a good game. We obviously gonna preview that game in a second, but that game is the Cotton Bowl, ladies and gentlemen. That game, Ohio State will go travel to Arlington, Texas, Jerry World to play. They'll play Texas. That's a home game for Texas. Congratulations to Ohio State. Well deserved. They won the Rose Bowl. There is no better scene, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching the game than the Rose Bowl. The grass, the sunset, everything. The perfect place to play a football game at. I wouldn't be mad if the college football playoff had their national championship at the Rose Bowl every year. I would not be mad at that. I love the Rose Bowl. I love the scenery. I love everything. Once again, congratulations to Ryan Day, Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith, Emeka Ibuka, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. They move on to the Cotton Bowl. The last game that we're going to go over, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, they beat Georgia 23-10. Notre Dame, those guys, to me, this game changed at the end of the first half, beginning of the second half. Notre Dame scored at the end of the first half. They scored a field goal to be up 6-3 at the end of the first half. The third quarter, they had a kickoff return that made it 13-3. That basically ended the game for me with Georgia. Georgia was playing their backup quarterbacks, Stockton. Let me make sure I get his name right. Gunnar Stockton. He was 20 of 32, 234 yards, 1 touchdown. He showed some promise. But at the same time, he was Young's first real meaningful game. He looked overwhelmed. He looked like a rookie. He looked like a freshman playing the game. So congratulations to Notre Dame. This Notre Dame team with Marcus Freeman. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame to go to LSU. It would be very ironic for Marcus Freeman to take Notre Dame to the national championship game when Brian Kelly left him to go to LSU. Congratulations to Notre Dame. Riley Leonard, he played a good game. He ran the ball for 80 yards. He threw a touchdown pass. Julian Love, Price, the running back, those guys showed up. That Notre Dame defensive line showed up, balled out. Once again, congratulations to the Fighting Irish. The Fighting Irish move on. They play
Penn State.
Penn State. I'm sorry. Thank you, brother. They play Penn State in the Orange Bowl. Congratulations to the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Hey, look at me, y'all.
How
about that SEC? Woo.
Stop. Don't you start that stuff. Don't you start that stuff on here with that Tam. Don't you start that stuff. Don't you start that, bro. Get out of here with that. Don't start that stuff.
God dang, boy. Sometimes
Yeah, Tim. Don't start. Tim, ain't no goddamn. Hey, don't you start that bullshit. Don't start.
Just listen to me sometimes.
I'm gonna listen to you, bro.
I know a little bit. I know a little bit, man. Like I've been telling you. I mean, I know. So we know back then play. I think the game would have looked a little.
And again, the starting quarterback for Georgia didn't play.
I'm one of the people. We know back then in play. I still think they would have lost personally, but he didn't play. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta play who's on the field. That's what they tell me. You know what I'm saying? That's what they told me.
That's what they tell you.
On the field, you gotta play. You know what I'm saying? So, man, shout out to Notre Dame. I just think they played better in all three phases of the game. Like nobody did nothing really. Everybody did their assignment. Like special teams score. You know, that's a plus. Special teams score, that's a plus. Defense balled out. Their defense looked like one of the best defense, probably the best defense left, if you ask me, from what I've been seeing. Ohio State's in that equation as well. But so like they just look good, man. And then like we about to talk about that matchup, but like I like what I see from Riley Leonard, man. Like the ability to use his legs, and he looked like he really trying to win this thing. Like they had a 3rd and long. He jumped over somebody to get the first down just to end of the game, like just to make sure.
Yeah, somersault over somebody, bro.
Like we going down with me. So shout out to Notre Dame and Coach Freeman, man. I hope they do get to the championship because I don't like nothing Kelly, Brian Kelly, Chip Kelly, none of them. So I hope Notre Dame get it done, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this. The star of this show is this brother to the right of me. This brother, I ain't gonna lie, these catchphrases be amazing to me. Let me just say this. This brother is amazing. You are right. Congratulations to Notre Dame. They won. I don't like you with your BS talking about the SEC. Can you let the audience know who you picked to win the national championship?
I did. So ironically, I picked the SEC team.
No, let them know what SEC team you picked.
No, that doesn't matter. If they watch the show, they know. You know what I'm saying? And they got destroyed. So which let me know I was fooled too, y'all. They got me too. They got me too. You know what I'm saying? But I did take Tennessee before the playoff. And when the playoffs start, I told you I liked Arizona State, if I'm being real. And they lost to Texas. So SEC team did be the team that, you know what I'm saying, I like to do some damage in the playoffs. So
ladies and gentlemen, there is nobody I would rather do a show with than this guy right here to the right of me. This guy's amazing. He's funny, but he will give you when he's right and when he was wrong.
By the way, I was wrong.
That's the segment that me and Tim will introduce later on down the line. When Tim was right, when Josh was right, when Tim was wrong, when Josh was wrong. We will introduce that down the line. So now that we're here, we got through the second round of college football. Now it's time to predict the third round, the semifinal of the college football playoff. Let's start with the game on Thursday. The number 5 Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They play the number 4 Penn State Nittany Lions. This game is Thursday, 7:30 Eastern. This game will be called by Sean McDonough, Greg McElroy on ESPN. Notre Dame is favored by 1.5. The over-under is 44.5. Ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, the best co-host in the game, Tim, start us off. Who you like, bro?
Man, so this game really intriguing to me because both teams got similar play styles. They like to run the ball and then play action off the run. So I'm excited to see which team can get the run game going and you know what I'm saying, what defense going to break first, because it feel like it should be a low scoring game to me. I don't think it's going to be a whole lot of points, but I'm taking Notre Dame and Riley Leonard just because Riley Leonard, he been around the Marbury Bush, man. He was balling that Duke, got injured. You know what I'm saying? He's been around a long time. I think like sometimes it's your moment, and I think he's going to play up to the moment. Allen still look a little shaky to me. I'm not sold on Allen. So, and Notre Dame has a great defense, like I said last segment. So, give me Notre Dame.
You like the Fighting Irish. Brother, I will not disagree with you on that. I'm going to take Penn State. I am thoroughly impressed with what I'm seeing from James Franklin, Drew Allen, the two running backs, Singleton, Kane, the running back. Make sure I got his name right. Singleton and Allen, the running back. I love what I'm seeing from Penn State. I think Penn State finds a way to win this game. This game will be played in Miami. It's the Orange Bowl. Give me Penn State finding a way to win this game. I think Drew Allen is a better quarterback than Riley Leonard. I think Penn State will be able to try to run the ball a little bit more against or try to run the ball against Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame beat Georgia. There's nothing wrong with, beating Georgia, but I think that was, I think they won that game because Georgia didn't have that starting quarterback. So they're facing a team now that has their full arsenal of weapons. Give me Penn State to beat Notre Dame. On Friday. Go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Weather will not be a factor this week.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this game is in sunny Miami,
Yes,
Florida. It's at the Orange Bowl. By the way, Tim, if you want to shoot footage from the game in Miami, you want to fly down to Miami, bro. You got more than privilege to go do that, brother. Go do that. By the way, bro, when you get down there, send me a ticket so I can go down there with you. On Friday, we have the Cotton Bowl, which is, ladies and gentlemen, it's in Texas. You have the number 6 Ohio State Buckeyes facing the number 3 Texas Longhorns. Friday, 7:30 ESPN. This game will be called by Chris Fowler, Kurt Herbstreit, Hollywood. You start us off on the last game. You picked Notre Dame. I'm going to start us off with this game. This game was tough for me because I picked Penn State to win the last game against Notre Dame. If you would go back to last year, even though Washington at the moment wasn't in the Big Ten, it was an all Big Ten championship game. It was Washington versus Michigan. I think we'll have the same thing this year. I think we'll have an all Big Ten national championship. Give me Ohio State. I think Ohio State will beat Texas. I'm not impressed from what I'm seeing by Texas. Quinn Ewers has been sporadic. That's being nice to say the least. I think Ohio State will Howard, Jeremiah Smith, the 2 running backs, Travion Henderson jumped in from the transfer from Ole Miss, along with Emeka Ibuka to go along with Jeremiah Smith. I like the tight end Scott. I like him. I think Ohio State wins this game in a road game in Texas. Give me Ohio State. Give me the Buckeyes.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, weather will not be a factor.
Not in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, this game is in the dope. It's in the Cotton Bowl.
I just feel like it's ironic, like now the weather,
Stop.
I'm just saying. Maybe we want to see the best version of the teams. Maybe. Okay. That's just my thought.
Hey, time out. Before you go. So what was SMU and Penn State supposed to play in? The fucking Astrodome, bro? What are they supposed to play in?
Wherever dome is close or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Wherever it was feasible. My brother, I'm not geographical like that, so I don't know. But whatever they could have worked out would have worked for me, man.
Hey, brother, touche. You got that point. Go ahead, brother. The floor is yours. I'm sorry. Let me shut the hell up. You got it.
So, man, like I said, Ohio State has looked like the best team in the country. Like you said, Texas offense has been like up and down. They go through like droughts. And y'all know I wasn't a big Will Howard fan, but he has proven me wrong. But can he do it again? No. Give me Texas.
You taking Texas?
Give me Texas.
Why you like Texas in this game?
Okay, so one is in Texas. I'm not a big home field advantage type of person, but like that college environment, like you rally, like even in the pros, like you can get energy off the crowd. I will say that. Like I think they're gonna be like really up for this game. Like I think there's gonna be for Texas to win, it has to be their best game of the year. Like it ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like it's got to be clean, concise, and I think it will be because I think they're laser focused because Arizona State was a wake up call. You know what I'm saying? Like you're like, oh damn, they almost beat. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, let's lock back in. Ohio State, they just whooped on Oregon, who was the number 1 team in the country supposedly, and I'm not gonna say they gonna have a lack of focus, but it's like we just beat the number 1 team. Like Texas ain't better. You know what I'm saying? Texas ain't better than them. That's just how I feel like some of the players gonna look at. So give me. That's why I'm like Tech, and I think yours got something to prove. So I think yours is better than Will Howard. So that's really you know what I'm saying. Yours better than Will Howard. So I'm going better quarterback at home.
Gotcha. So for these 2 national semifinal games, they both like opposite teams. Should be 2 great games. Notre Dame and Penn State, Ohio State, and Texas. Can't wait to watch these games Thursday and Friday of this week. We'll take a quick break. You watch the Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. the actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link. Shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. Tim, it's about that time. The best segment of Sports Talk TV. As you guys can see, let's talk about it. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The NFL season is over. Tim and I will give out our awards for 7 awards this season: MVP, Coach of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year, Defensive Rookie of the Year, etc. So Tim, we'll start us off with the MVP. The MVP of the NFL, to me, has been Josh Allen. 28 touchdown passing, 6 interceptions, 100.1.4 passer rating, 3,731 passing yards, 12 rushing touchdowns, 531 yards on the ground, second on the team. I think Josh Allen, with the 13-4 record, second seed in the AFC, he gets my MVP vote, brother. What about you?
Yeah, my MVP also is Josh Allen. You did the stats, so I'm just going. My one argument, no Ravens fan has yet to answer my question. And when the quarterback throws the ball 30 or more times, Lamar Jackson is 2-5. Josh Allen is 6-1.
Ooh, so say that again. Hey, Tim, ladies and gentlemen, bro, let me say this. That's why this brother is the best co-host in the game. Tim, give that stat again one more time. Let him know.
So this stat is when the quarterback has to throw the ball 30 or more times. So basically, they shut down the run or whatever the case, and we need you to throw the ball.
They take away Derrick Henry. They take away James Cook. So go ahead, Tim.
We need you to win. The game is on you. What you want to do. Lamar's 2-5. Those two versus, and I'm not going to slight the wins. Those two wins are versus the Bengals, and we know one of those games was because of Bobo snap. So, okay. But we're going to take it 2-5 versus Josh Allen is 6-1. So, to me, that settles the debate right there.
So we both have Josh Allen as the MVP. What about Coach of the Year, brother? I'll let you start us off. Who you has as your Coach of the Year?
Coach of the Year is no other than Kevin O'Connell from the Minnesota Vikings. I don't think no one had them going 14-2. I don't even know if the Minnesota Vikings had themselves going 14-3. I don't think the Minnesota Vikings had them winning this many games this year. This was supposed to be a rebuild. So give me the Vikings, Coach O'Connell.
We disagree on this. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna give it to the gentleman that beat the Vikings the last week of the season. 15-2, Dan Campbell. Nobody thought the Detroit Lions would be 15-2, the number one seed in the NFC. 15-2. I never thought that. All the injuries that Dan Campbell had to go through, offensively, defensively. He lost his best defensive player, Aiden Hutchinson. He's lost Alex Alonso. He didn't come back until week 18. 15-2, the Coach of the Year to me is Dan Campbell. I felt like the week 18 battle between the Vikings and the Lions, the winner was going to win the Coach of the Year. So I'll give Coach of the Year to Dan Campbell. You give it to Kevin O'Connell. And the Offensive Rookie of the Year is the next award that we're giving out. For me, the Offensive Rookie of the Year, unanimous, Jaden Daniels. 3,568 passing yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 100.1 quarterback rating, 891 yards rushing, 6 touchdowns. I also want to give an honorable mention to 4 guys. In second place for me, Bo Nix, 3,775 passing yards, 29 touchdowns passing, 12 interceptions, 93.3 quarterback rating, 430 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns. Brock Bowers, he set the record for receptions for a tight end, receptions for a rookie, 112 receptions, 1,194 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns. My 4th person on my Offensive Rookie of the Year was Brian Thompson Robinson, 87 catches, 1,282 yards, 10 touchdowns. My 5th person on my ballot was Bucky Irvin from Tampa Bay, over 1,000 yards rushing, to be exact, 1,122 yards rushing, 8 touchdowns, 392 yards receiving. Again, those were my 5. My Offensive Rookie of the Year, unanimously, Jaden Daniels. They won 4 games last year. They won 11 this season.
Yeah, man. So I went on a different route, man. My Offensive Rookie of the Year is Malik Neighbors. He had 109 catches, 104 yards, and 7 TDs. Malik Neighbors is my Offensive Rookie of the Year. Yeah, doing this with Drew Lock, DeVito, and Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you deserve credit for that. It's not the best quarterback room you can have. I fought between him and Brian Thompson Jr. I thought Brian Thompson Jr. had a better season than Malik Neighbors. That's just me. But yeah, again, the Commanders, for me, they won 4 games last year. They won 12. They were 12-5 this year. So to me, the offensive rookie of the year should be Jaden Daniels. Our next award that we're going to go over is as I'm pulling it up now, we have the defensive rookie of the year. Tim, I'll let you start us off with that, brother.
Yeah, man. So all my picks today, not the regular, so everybody gonna pick the same 2-3 people. So I just want people to think a little outside the box for once, you know what I'm saying? So this player, he happens to play for my team, you know what I'm saying? So defensive rookie of the year, I got Quinyon Mitchell, aka Quintano Mobat. No other reason than he locks wide receivers down every week, man. So that's my defensive rookie of the year. He has that defense to be number one in a lot of categories because we was terrible last year. We was close to last and everything, defensive, secondary wise, and he's one of the reasons why the defense looks like it does now.
I'll give you that. I have him third on my ballot. Well deserved for Quavion Mitchell. I actually have Cooper DeJean fourth on my ballot. And I have Malik Mustafa, the safety from the 49ers. He was drafted in the 4th round out of Wake Forest. He was 5th on my ballot. Number 1, number 2 players on my ballot, they play on the same team. That's the Los Angeles Rams. I have Jared Verse number 1. I have Brandon Fisk as number 2. Let me give a shout out to Brandon Fisk. 8.5 sacks, 44 tackles, 10 tackles for loss. He's a hell of a player. Both of these guys came from Tim's greatest alma mater, Florida State University. Both of these guys are playing out their mind, chop it down, brother. Brandon Fisk, he was second on my ballot. Jared Verse is first. I just believe the tenacity that Jared Verse has brought to this Rams defense has made the Rams defense better. 4.5 sacks, not the best sack number. 11 tackles for loss, 66 tackles as a edge rusher. So for me, I give the defensive rookie of the year to Jared Verse. You give it to Quavion Mitchell. Quavion Mitchell. I'm sorry. Next award is the Offensive Player of the Year award, and I think me and Tim will both agree on this. The Offensive Player of the Year award for me is Mr. Saquon Barkley. He will not win MVP, but he should win the Offensive Player of the Year. 2,005 yards rushing, 13 rushing touchdowns. He has 278 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns receiving. He could have had more receiving yards. He would beat the Falcons in week 2, but that's another subject for another day. I'll let that get over his head. To me, if Saquon would have rushed for the Eric Dickerson record, he would have definitely been in contention for the MVP. I believe that he didn't rush for that, so now he'll get minimized in the MVP. That's why Tim and I have Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson as the 2 candidates. So for me, Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley from the Philadelphia Eagles.
So this is gonna shock y'all, right? Because I wanted to put Saquon Barkley. I was like, man. But I actually went with y'all, God Ravens fans. I went with Lamar Jackson as the Offensive Player of the Year. Okay. I think due to the fact, he's having a phenomenal season. You know what I'm saying? I think just because his numbers dictate he should get an award. Not saying Saquon shouldn't, but we seen running backs run for 2,000. I think if he broke the record, you know what I'm saying, he might even won MVP. But I definitely think he would have got Offensive Player of the Year. So I'm going with Lamar Jackson.
Not a bad pick at all. I think the Offensive Player of the Year will come down to Saquon and Lamar Jackson. Our next award that we're picking, Defensive Player of the Year. As always, brother, I'll let you start. Go ahead, brother.
I know there's going to be another shocker for everybody, but my Defensive Player of the Year is Kirby Joseph from the Detroit Lions, the safety. He has 9 interceptions and 12 pass deflections. And Detroit defense isn't really good, but he's one of the good parts of the defense. So give me Kirby Joseph.
Kirby Joseph. He was number 6 on my ballot. Number 6. I respect Kirby Joseph. Hell of a safety. He's playing well, playing out of his mind. Let's move. I'll go from 5 to 1. Number 5 on my ballot, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. You know him. You know him well, don't you? Played for your Philadelphia Eagles. 6 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 1 touchdown. Number 4, TJ Watt. 11.5 sacks. He fizzled out at the end of the season. If he would have got more sacks, he probably would have been higher on my ballot. Number 3, Nick Benito from the Denver Broncos, 13 and a half sacks, 48 tackles. He had an interception return for a touchdown. I love what the Denver Broncos made the playoffs, in my mind, in part because of their defense with Nick Benito. And my second player on my defensive ballot of the year, Patrick Surtain Jr., 4 interceptions. He is what Darrelle Revis was for the New York Jets. This is what I mean by that. Patrick Surtain, I want you to go stick Tim. Okay, Tim not going to do nothing. We're going to shut him down. Now you got to worry about the other side of the field. You're a defensive coordinator. I love that move. I love Patrick Surtain. He's the best. Pardon my language. He's the best. Pardon me. He's the best cornerback in the NFL. Patrick Surtain is number 2 on my ballot and number 1. I'm going out the box. I'm going with Xavier McKinley from the Green Bay Packers. 6 interceptions, 1 sack. He has the most tackles, 88 out of all secondary players. I feel like this Green Bay team is predominantly dominant because of defense, and I feel like Xavier McKinley has helped their defense become dominant. Like I said, 8 interceptions, 1 sack, 88 tackles. So my defensive player of the year, Xavier McKinley from the Green Bay Packers. Last award that we will give out is the comeback player of the year. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the comeback player of the year is a little bit different. Most of you guys thinking the comeback player of the year should be Sam Darnold. And you're probably right. It should be Sam Darnold. However, you can't come. The NFL has made it where so you can't come back from being bad. Or better yet, you can't come back from sucking. So, with that being in mind, Tim, I know Sam Darnold is your guy. Who do you have winning the comeback player of the year this year?
Yeah, so I recently found that out myself. So like I don't get so to me, not to just change it, but like that doesn't make sense to me because like if you're a top quarterback, you get injured and play again next year, you didn't come back from anything. You was good before that. So what did you really, you know what I'm saying? What did you really come back from, an injury? That doesn't make you the comeback player. Like I feel like a comeback player is somebody who either hasn't done well before, you know what I'm saying, or something of that nature. Like that just because you injured. Joe Burrow got injured. Joe Burrow should not be comeback player of the year. We knew who Joe Burrow was before he got injured. Like ain't nothing changed. Like he didn't get any better. He didn't get any worse. So I think they're gonna do the right thing, man. I'm still going with Sam Darnold.
Totally understand. With the criteria of the award, Sam Darnold will be my pick, but for me, I took Joe Burrow. 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 108.5 quarterback rating. He leads the NFL in passing yards, 4,918 yards passing, 201 yards on the ground, 1 rushing touchdown. I agree with you. I thought last year Joe Flacco won the comeback player of the year. I thought the comeback player of the year should have been Baker Mayfield just because of circumstance and what he did. And that's just basically the same thing you're saying with Sam Darnold. However, for me, I'm going to give it just respecting how they will vote for the award. I'm giving the comeback player of the year award to Joe Burrow. Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Highly Opinionated. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. As you can see, special time on Highly Opinionated. We got 3 special guests. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Denzel. Let's welcome KP. Let's welcome Denzel to the show. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's going on? Happy to be here.
Good. Kendall, KP, and Denzel, man. We appreciate you guys coming on Highly Opinionated, man. You guys are the best. Kendall, we'll start with you, man. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm fine to you, man. You know, this is our first setup like this, like actual live podcast and everything like that. So, you know, it's exciting, you know. Feeling a little special, why not?
Absolutely, brother. We want you to feel special, brother. We grateful to have you on the show, man. We look forward to have you on this time and plenty of times down on in the future, man. So we appreciate you. KP, what's going on, brother? Everything good with you?
Man, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm glad to be here talking to y'all. Appreciate y'all having me on. But now you say I can come back on. I'm
You
gonna
can
have to
come
do
back
some
on
chat.
anytime.
Don't worry about it. I'm be back. Hey, you said it. It's on camera. I'm gonna be back.
I said it. I can't wait to have you back on, brother.
But,
We look forward to that.
hey,
We look forward
playoffs
to
here,
what you about to
college
say
football
now.
too.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
brother. Say it again.
Playoffs here, college football. I'm trying to do some chat. These people ain't really that good. They terrible for real.
I hear that. Bro, we look forward to having you on as much as you want to, brother. You got that. Denzel, what's up, brother? What's going on with you?
Hey, what's up? Nothing much. Just
Everything good with
working.
you?
Yeah, I can't complain.
Good, man. Well, we grateful to have Kendall. Like I said, Kendall, KP, and Denzel on, man. We appreciate you guys. You guys are the first. You're the guys of the first episode where we got 3 guests on at the same time. I'll let my compadre start us off with the questions. Tim, start us off, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I know y'all run a company. Can y'all tell us the name of your company and what y'all produce or what y'all do exactly?
So well, I'll start and y'all fill in, but yeah, so we run a sporting brand, called Unison. Um, the quickest or fastest, shortest, most simplest way I describe it is we just like your typical bigger brands so you see throughout your athletic or your apparel stores and Under Armour, Adidas, Nike. Um, we established or we created it in 2018, like middle 2018, going to the summer 2018. We started when at Bowie State University. I was a student athlete there playing football, and Phil was a student there as well. He just had finished playing ball, and we were both sport management majors. So before even Unison, though, we was already just developing a relationship naturally as friends. So we had already been going to school. I want to say at least going on about a year at that point. It was a good while. And then it took the next year or semester. I want to say I want to say it's the next year, but we ended up having management class with a guy by the name of Coach Sam. So Sam, he's one of the biggest, honestly, girls high school basketball coaches in the area. National champion. He used to coach at Riverdale Baptist. In their heyday, he was a head coach there. He became popular on ESPN for being like the bow tie coach. He actually started a line through that business line through bow tie. So kind of like the perfect class, perfect setup that kind of sparked the idea. And at the time, we Phil was well endowed, knew who he was, and he actually I think he knew who Phil was. Just small area, people know people. And at the time, that was my favorite. It was our favorite class. I know we talked about it because we learned more gems. I feel like about life than we actually learned like through books. We barely opened the book in there.
Right.
And at the time, he just kind of opened my mind to just being like, okay, like, being realistic or thinking about what's going on the field with me at Bowie and, okay, what you going to do after this? Because I always try to be forward thinking. And me and Phil was already locked in. Denzel's been my best friend since high school, since we were 14, so, so the roots and the seeds were already kind of planted. And then I will always see Phil. I'll be more so paying attention, getting the information, and Phil be like, what he say? The whole time he on the laptop just, and I'm just having to keep looking like, man, what you doing? And he'd just be doing all of these flyers and posts and for all of these schools and high schools in the city in DC. And at the time, my ex-girlfriend, she gave me a book, just as a gift for real in college. And it was a Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. So to be real, like I read articles all day, but I ain't read no chapter books. So that's probably the first chapter book I actually read in a minute. And the fact that it even came like that, I feel like it was supposed to happen that way. So as I'm reading it, it's just the origins of Nike being a big thing that we see today. But it started off just him getting a supply in China and pulling up at, like how we do it with our culture, just pulling up and popping the trunk.
Right.
So and something is street and as far as like just organic that way. And I'm like, man, if he can do that, and he wasn't rich or well off or nothing like that either. So it's like, if he can do that, why we can't do that? And I felt like I already had relationships and resources around me that is like, it just didn't seem like seemed like a hand in glove fit. At that point, I just had to pitch it to Phil, and I let Phil come in and speak on that after that.
Yeah, as Kendall said, we knew each other about like a year and a half, and I mean that class was cool, but once you know what you got going on, you in college, ain't nobody about to press you out to do all that. I knew what I had to do to get my how I be in that class. That's
Right.
how I was rocking out. I mean, like I had other stuff going on, trying to really do flies and trying to help the kids in DC like get their attention that I didn't get. It was not really if you good or bad. It's just not the media markets in the city right like back then. So that's really how it started, and just having connections. I mean, them connections just built from then to now. Them connections really got us where we at now. Like people took a chance on us for no reason. Like I'm talking about, it's just hey, you want to do this order, let's go. It ain't no rhyme or reason behind it. It's just the trust and faith in us. That's what we just standing our word on.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Denzel.
Yeah, so how I got added into this, basically Kendall know I draw, so I don't draw a lot, but Kendall hit me up and was like, "Hey man, you want to join this company I'm starting?" He was like, I need some designs." So the back of my mind, I'm like, I can't keep drawing those designs over and over on paper. So so I basically got this free graphic design software called Vector. I told myself that I was being cheap. I wasn't trying to get Adobe and stuff yet. I ain't know nothing about it. So eventually I was in community college at the time, so I switched my major from like biology and stuff because I was trying to do physical therapy. I switched it over to graphic design, and then I actually learned the programming class, and then that's when I started being able to do more stuff with Photoshop and graphic design and stuff like that. And then it was just easier because it was like a lot of stuff. Like we started making templates that we would give people for like mocks and stuff and things like that. So it made it easier. And then I also started taking like a photography class. So like anything I can shoot that's like locally, I would take care of it.
Man,
Gotcha.
Denzel like a wizard, man. He got all that stuff. Like he like a wizard. I don't know how he be doing some of that stuff.
Nah, for real, a lot of that stuff be self really. I'll say this and like not even like on no mushy shit or nothing. I don't even know if we can cuss on here.
No,
Oh,
bro. You are fine. Go ahead.
he
Go
cuss
ahead.
all the
Look.
time. He cuss all the time.
Yeah, I curse all the time. Go ahead.
Oh man, but yeah, so like I already kind of knew like once I don't know like how it really smacked me in my head, like it really smacked me, and I'm just like, man, like I already knew like Phil. I was already amazed at like individually the stuff that they was already doing, So like Denzel to me, like even before I met Phil, like he probably in our friend group one of the only few people I really have intellectual conversations with. I feel like I can learn stuff from because like he just told you, like he only person I really know that's really self-made or self-taught, like a lot of stuff that he do, and I still be impressed to this day when I see him doing a lot of the design or creativity stuff, even the camera work. And then with Phil just being like, because Phil was younger than us by a few years. So a lot of people can't even tell sometimes how they
Y'all
Don't,
crazy.
old heads
don't,
too? Hold
don't
on,
look like an old ass Phil.
hold on. Y'all old heads
Old
too?
ass Phil.
Hey, listen. I ain't got low. I said,
Unison
I'm
just stressed
oh,
them
man,
out, man.
Hey, Phil. Kendall and Denzel stressed your ass out. That's what it was.
We
That's,
did
that's all
stress
it
them
was.
out.
hey,
That's all it was.
bro,
Trust
when
me.
they met me, I had waves, like real waves,
No, he
bro.
really did. Hey, look, we should have sent the old pictures when you first
Hey,
started. You see them?
Hey
man.
yo.
Now, I ain't gonna lie though. Like, I only like when they say the self-taught of being a graphic designer. I was just doing. I swear, when I started doing the graphics, I learned how to do that on my phone in class. I was bored when I got finished my work. Like it wasn't no, oh, we had this and that. Right? It was just figure it out. I just wanted to do a fly for the football game tonight, so some people could come to the game. Like we just trying. I'm a senior. I'm just trying to have a good senior year. They
Right.
said we don't have no money. All right, well let's design some uniforms. Let's figure it out. I didn't want to look like a bum, basically. Like I got some swag. Like why?
Right.
Why you carrying it like? That's how I felt. Like I mean,
Yeah.
like me being from DC, going to Dunbar, DC, it's like that's one of the biggest programs in the city. But the
Absolutely.
time when I got in there in the school, the Under Armour money dried up. So we getting scraps. Then they hit you with the Title IX. Well, the girls ain't get this before, so they gonna get it now. Like we asking for uniforms. They like, we just got y'all some mouthpieces, man. Chill out. They playing, I swear they playing with us, bro. I'm like, y'all ain't talking to me like this, bro. Like we gonna find some unis. And the first thing I ever designed was unis. We ain't getting none of them, no. But we got some socks. We got some compression shirts.
I was about to say you still got to
Hey,
get it up somehow.
and that's how it started. And then I started doing the flies. And
You
that's
gotta
why I
start somewhere, right, Phil?
Huh?
You gotta start somewhere, right?
Yeah, like, bro, when Denzel doing these flies, like how I'm looking at everything he doing, I have no clue what he's doing. Like I even took and Bowie, they was like, you gotta take an art class. I was like, listen, I don't do a lot of drawing and all that. That's not my like. And we can get on the computer. So they finesse, let me get on the computer, take a computer class, and learn how to do Adobe. I still only know like 5% of what Denzel know.
I ain't gonna lie, that's what I say. It's something that ain't in my. One thing I think that made us help us really work well together, though. Honestly, we all actually like each other. It's not just a business relationship. I think people on the outside looking in, they don't really know us, just assume that. But we really had a friendship, and I'm thank God that we really like built a bond of friendship before we really went into business. And then on top of that, like nobody, like everybody cool with the role they play. Like me and Philip be on to something like, yeah, they said they want this, and he'd be like, yeah, get that shit to Denzel. we, so
do that, bro.
wherever, like, it's like all of us like are similar, but all do different things and bring different things to the table. So whenever it's called upon, some situations it may be like, I may need to take a step back. Cool. Phil and Denzel handle it, or vice versa, or something like that. So, like, we've never really had, like, of course, in business, you're going to have your back and forth. You're going to, he like this more, I like this better. That's always the thing. That's what we want, to be honest, so we can really get to what's the best. But, like, as far as, like, stepping on toes or anything like that, like, nah, because we already respect each other as men.
Yeah. My question for you guys is, because obviously you guys have a business, the three of you guys, Kendall, KP, Phil, aka Phil, Denzel, and that's kind of like how we have over here highly opinionated with me, Tim, and Ross. And I always try to make it weird. So I want Tim and Ross to understand, like, I want you to be your best. If you at your best, that makes me bring up to me for me to bring up my best. If you're not at your best, then it's like, all right, like, what am I doing here? Like, why am I wasting my time? So my question for you guys is, what made you guys' chemistry work so much for you guys to not only start a business but maintain a business?
Good. Denzel.
I feel like for me coming in, I feel like for me coming in, it was like once they assigned me that role, I just stuck with my role.
Gotcha.
So I just was like, let me, do what I got to do, and just master my role, and whatever I gotta learn. So, and if there's anything I can't do, or you know anybody falls short, we just reach out and let the other person know. So just keep it moving. It's like we won't be having enough time to let anything fall apart. We just be like, yo, what's going on? Blah blah blah. Like Kendall and Phil, like they'll hit my phone any time of the day. I could be at work, or it could be 4 in the morning. I need this design. I'll try to get it to you. Well, I'm working on like probably 2 other things. I'm probably editing photos from something else, or working on a website. It's just let me know.
Yeah, and my girl, she always joke because like how he said about the calling, she called him to my husbands. She was like, "Hey, your work husbands," because we could be doing whatever. We could be out. We be in a movie. I think she took a picture one time. You try to take your time out with your girl, whatever, and
Yeah.
she's like, "You won't be on your phone and something." I'm like, "Nah, it's only an hour and 45." I'm literally, she take a picture of me. I'm on the side because talking to Denzel and Phil, so it's, I think, but in short, like I feel like I want to always like put 110% in because like Phil said or Denzel said, like we done been through the long nights and long days, like some ugly days, or like where like it's times all the time where this process might be getting to Phil one day, then it's getting to me one day. You get what I'm saying, or getting to Denzel one day. Because at the end of the day, it's always ups and downs with it. So I just think that I really, really, truly think like the friendship, because like I look at Phil, mom and dad like an extension of mine. Like it's been times where we met. Like, shoot, my stuff in my personal life was kind of all over the place. They helped me a lot. Like, so it's deeper than just business. Like, so you're gonna always want to put your best foot forward. It's like we all been on the team together. It's like, man, I've been leading receiver, whatever this is, but this game we gonna run a lot of tosses, so I gotta give. I'm doing a lot of blocking today, blocking the DN. That ain't gonna be what I really wanted to do. It's gonna be an ugly game, but that's what I'm gonna do because I know my man is busting his this, and if I make my block or do what I gotta do, we gonna win in the end. So, I think that's really just helped us go a long way for real.
Yeah.
Go ahead, KP. Go ahead, brother.
Me personally, I'm gonna be honest. When I joined, I'm like, these some Baltimore people. I'm like, I just gotta show up. They gonna be looking at me like, why he ain't doing that? And I'm the young, and I'm like 19, 18 or something like that. Like, they gonna be carrying me. And then I jumped in. I'm trying to change the whole flow. So it's like y'all adding a new person to y'all show, and he like, yeah, we need to get off this jump. We need to do X, Y, and Z. And then he's telling you like, how you making all the suggestions, fool? Like, who you think you are?
Hey Phil, trust me, I got people that give me suggestions. They ain't never come on the show. So trust me, I understand how that fits. Trust me, I get
you. So then the whole kid, when we get back in the city, I'm like, man, I'm just telling people I'm trying to do a business. I ain't even really trying to do a business, but man, I already told people, so I can't look bad now. Like, I had to pull a Baltimore once the pandemic hit, then it really got serious. I had to pull a Baltimore move. I had to pull a Marlon. Like, my name was my name. Like, we got to. Well, no, that's really it. What it is, man. I feel like we know what it is. Like when they say time, like I ain't gonna lie, I got a problem with time. I don't be knowing what time of day it is because it's just too much going on. Like it's on average, I'm not going to bed till 2, 3 in the morning. But we all got like this ain't none of our real jobs. Like we all got jobs to do. I work in a school, so it's like the timing with me is terrible. I don't know what time it is. I don't know what day it is. So I know I just go do what we gotta do. That's how.
I ain't gonna lie, just listening to you guys, man, Kendall, KP, and Denzel. You guys obviously got a lot going on, got different things going on, but you guys make it work. And I just want my audience to understand, like you can have three different people from different parts of the world. You can have one from here, one from there, one from over there. But at the end of the day, if you guys have the same ambition, the same goals, the same passions, the same trying to win, the same like we gonna make it work, anything is possible. So I'm just glad that my audience can understand, our audience can understand and see like, all right, listen, you guys can be different steps of life. 2 of the guys are dark skinned, one of the guys is light skinned. 2 of the guys could be light skinned, one of the guys is dark skinned. It doesn't matter. You guys have the same goals, same dreams, same aspirations about being the best. And I commend you guys for that. You guys should be celebrated for that. And like I said, when we first introduced you guys, man, I'm grateful and thankful to have you guys on, man. You guys are a spitting inspiration for not only me, Tim, and Ross, but for my audience as well.
I appreciate it, man.
We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Go
ahead, Tim. You got any questions? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I got a 2-part question, right? So, first part is where did the name Unison come from, and where can they like view your work? Like, where is that? Do y'all have like a website, or how can we go see your work?
Shit, well, to answer in the first, I'll answer the second one first because that's quick. So, we got a website, www.unisontv.com. We actually got another one that we updated now, so that'll be out soon.
Hey, say that date. Say this date right here. Well, that's what I'll be trying to tell y'all. It's a lot of stuff we do that don't happen until later on. They all just came out. Now we've been working on it for a minute. I'm telling you now.
So, definitely. And then, before I get to that, Instagram Unison underscore LLC, Twitter Unison the brand,
Look,
Facebook is Unison the
and
We
brand.
Kendall,
gonna
my bad
post
for cutting
all
you
that.
off. We're gonna make sure we post all that,
All
brother.
that.
You got all that. But go
Okay,
ahead,
yeah, and
let him know
I'll
where they can
send it
find you,
to
man. Go ahead.
Adam, or if I need to, I'll send it to Adam so he can put it all. We can put it all out there too. But yeah, we got a website, we got all of that stuff. And then also, well, to go back, like what Phil was talking about, as far as on the website piece, it's gonna be a lot. Like I don't want to say too much yet, but we
Man,
got some stuff where we're gonna be evolving to where as though a lot of stuff is gonna be like direct stuff with
yeah.
consumers, whether
This
you an
all Denzel.
AD,
This,
whether it's
this
a
the wizard Denzel.
no, this the wizard for sure. So he gotta
I
it's a lot of
appreciate
stuff
you.
the way as though that you'll be able to go on there and you be wondering like, am I on one of these big sites or because you'll be able to go in there and do a lot of self like stuff for yourself. You won't need to directly hit up or call or contact
Gotcha.
all the way with customization and everything. So yeah, so the website we definitely like we already got one out, but what we're working on with the evolution that we definitely excited about that. But the name, honestly, the name was just sitting down out of many of them nights of us three, just 8, 10, 12, 16 plus hours, like, man, we gonna call it, or what we gonna do this, what we gonna do that. And we thought we really was just throwing shit to the wall, hoping it stick. And then I was just like, man, what's one thing? I just thought about like the goal or like the ultimate vision of what we had with this, and we all talked about, like Phil said, like it's like as soon as we all bought in, we all kind of was like, yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. So it was like, well, of course, like uniforms and accessories, but fashion, media,
Mhm.
like a lot of ways, especially now in 25, a lot of this stuff, well, culture is always, intertwined. That's what make the culture. So we was like, we ain't seen nobody doing stuff on an executive level or running stuff on that type of level that look like us. And we trying to keep this thing all together for us, like not even being so much about race, but just letting the main thing be the main thing of how we all love sports. So it was like, how can we just merge that? Or what's a word to summarize all that? And he was like, unison. Like because it was funny because when you use the word, you kind of sometimes have to say it like when people, even now I watch a show, people be like, yeah, even if we doing this and that in unison, and it's like that word in a way is like how you describe it, like in just your regular vernacular, is you have to describe it one way, it's doing something together. So it's like they say people say that word on a regular, and we taking a spin onto it. So it was like we were just trying to hopefully honestly make sure that shit didn't sound corny or cheesy. So when we say move in unison, it's like damn, like you would say that regularly in a regular sentence or conversation, but also too like, oh, I see what they doing, like the kids, that it's athletes, they moving in unison, like so. And I honestly, that's the biggest thing I was scared of. Like, is that gonna catch on? I'm like, we ain't no rappers or nothing, but you come with some cheesy shit, some corny shit, nigga, like fuck out of here, So
I be, especially with them youngins.
yeah, like
Yeah,
like that's really what it was. We
I know
talked.
how them youngins get.
yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta have a catchy catchphrase. You gotta be
Yo,
popping. You gotta be in vogue. You gotta be all
Yeah,
that.
the
Hey,
hashtag, all that.
Hashtag.
hey, when we
Yeah,
say you
I'm
have
like
visions from youngins
hashtag.
get, man, I pull up at a practice. I like this just happened last Thursday. I pulled up at a practice. Youngin walk out the practice like, yeah, we getting these uniforms or what, coach? You need to hurry up. Season almost over.
Damn.
I said, okay.
Nah, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, they be wilding.
Go ahead, yo.
But
You know,
but
hurt. Soon as they see Unison walk in the building, they know you ain't here to check about nothing else. You here for some uniforms. You
oh,
here for
yeah, and
something. We
that's the
about to get
thing
something
too.
new. Who getting it? That's what they want to know. Is it football, basketball, cheer? They want to know who about to get the new drop.
Why is he here? We only here for one reason.
right.
So it do be like that though for sure. But in a way though, like that's how we and eventually honestly, that's what we plan on. Like by next spring out here in Baltimore and the counties and other schools where like it's not contracted based through some of these other bigger brands. Like that's what we going to next. We already got some rec program and stuff like that out here. So it's like out when stuff like that happened, it let us know like okay, our business model was to target the kids, the youth, because if you get them, you number one, you got the future because if you can build brand loyalty through them, it's kind of hard to adults at this point, they kind of set what they're gonna set in. Number two, when the
Something they
kids
wait.
want something, the adults have the money, but the adults more so want to be told. The kids tell the adults where to spend the money. Basically, Dad, I want this. I need this. You don't want this nugget? No, I want this Unison. It's custom. All you gotta do is do this, do that, Dad. And in turn, that's become a thing now. The way it's a plenty of times where some coaches like they respect what we do, but they might not want to do whatever it is or work with us right here at the moment. Maybe they want to hold on or do something else, and their rival school just got some new uniforms and it's like that through Unison. We done literally witnessed this. In my line, Phil and Denzel, Coach, y'all, he just was here last week. They got this, that, and the third. Man, so the kids is now like putting that, energy and they believing in it. So when we started seeing that, it's like,
putting that pressure on them coaches.
It's a straight
flex. So it's like, like the business, the plan is working, So it's like, oh shit. So
I say for Baltimore wise, like it's a lot about to happen on Baltimore. That's all I'm gonna say. You about to see a lot of drops. Like one thing I'm big on, like we said, being in the school system, seeing these athletes, knowing that they can brand themselves and monetize themselves in high school, in middle school, in elementary. Why aren't we doing these things? It's good players from all over, right? Everybody got the best player from where they from. Why he hasn't started his platform? We on social media every day. Where your athlete page? Yeah, you in the 6th grade, but you the best running back in Baltimore. What we talking about? You're going to be somebody. Why not start now?
A lot of these kids out there need that. A lot of these kids out there need that because I'm not, of course everything got to be controlled. And, I'm going to let Denzel jump in and say this too. But like, and how it is growing up here, like, kid be on the right path, falling in some distraction hit or something like that. And then, he just shifted and they never get back on track, and let it go. To where as though sometimes you seeing it because you see our DM every day with this. I see the positives with this NIL stuff on the grassroots area because it's like now if the kid got the right circle around him to keep him level headed, but it's continuing to, get him something to look forward to put the extra work in. Oh, this local brand is, especially out in that area, Unison is seen as like a for sure thing that could happen, and it's bubbling. And I want to be a part of that. So, and they already the KP is pulling up on me, and I'm already been doing been a great player and being a good student because that matters too. Be not just pulling up on a-holes and kids that's not doing what they're supposed to do, and that's also encouraging the other kids that's maybe on the teams and they'll say it, hey, what can I do to do this or what can I do to do that? You can do this X, Y, Z and keep working and do what you're supposed to do in school. We ain't dealing no behaviors. We're gonna check. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's a lot of ways to use that to keep these kids focusing on the right track, because when they're going through them middle school years and stuff, so much go on that sometimes it take them away from the game and they forget that's why they jumped into it in the first place, so.
Like the last thing about the NIL part for me is I'm looking at it from, like I said, working in the school system. We see what's going on with these athletes at an early age. Like I've been working in the middle school and high school system in DC. So I'm using the same aspect when you're talking about using the NIL deals and the branded athlete deals to get these kids to try to stay on the right path. Remember, this already been happening. NIL is just legalizing it. It's been the guy who at the game giving out the cleats. It's been the guy at the game giving out money to go to the school. That's
drug dealer cleaning his money.
That's
through his mask, through coach. Come on,
It's legalized now. If you think of NIL being legalized, you got to think of the same way they did alcohol and prohibition. They found a way to put a tax on it. Same way they doing with weed. Found a way to put a tax on it. This stuff been happening, and we saying, why not tap in with us? 2 guys look like you, coming from this same environment, went to the HBCU, work in the school system. We see what's going on. You know what I mean? That's how we really looking at that.
You probably know somebody that know us already because we done well traveled and played too. So
yeah.
Unisex, right? That's the name of it, right?
Unison.
I'm sorry. I say unisex. I'm sorry. Unison. I'm sorry. Unison. I love the name just because I'm gonna use the word unisex. Unison sounds like something that could be both for both men and women. So whole time, I think you guys should reach out eventually down the line to even females, just because
we done a lot of female sports. Like I said, Instagram, all that, it just don't say everything. But if you go in there, it's champions in Unison that's females. Like now Like I mean, I'm gonna say this now. We on the Baltimore side. I'm gonna say it. We got some stuff going on even with the semi-pro women's leagues like DCD, the Washington Prodigy. We really trying to get into things like that too. So we already been tapping in with the women's sports. Trying to do a little more, even with the girls. I mean, the women's flag, the girls' flag, and things like that. That's becoming more of a push.
Yeah.
But we've been doing them uniforms. That ain't even new to us. That's
What?
something.
Let me ask y'all this. So, what if you guys could say if you guys could say you need to do more in women's sports? What would you guys need to do more in women's sports?
You want an individual? Or you saying all together?
No, just all together. Just all together.
No, I'm saying like what Kendall think, what I think, what Denzel think.
No, so basically I'm asking just for your specific thought process on it. It could be
what you think,
Kendall's gonna have his, Denzel gonna have his, but what do you think you could take your women's sport to the next level?
I think for women's, I mean, me and Kendall already talked about basketball part, but women's that goes along with our retail part of we're trying to bring out more retail items where we all, all these leggings, the workout gear, and all that. That's already in motion. That's what I'm saying. That's already in motion.
Yeah, that's all I was gonna say.
That's already in motion.
I feel like you can definitely tap in with the women, like easier, quicker with their retail side.
Put it this way.
I mean, they would just go anywhere and get some leggings. Like, why not get some Unison?
I think also too, to add on to that, because they both right with that. I'll even say, diving a little bit more into the social media content for women. And I think, like this year, especially with like we talked about the NIL stuff where it was more individualized and we doing like I think we had a mic'd up and other little stuff like that. When we get more and more into like that type of stuff as far as the women, and you'll see that more, especially coming this spring. That's what they're alluding to. Like, I think, you see reels on Instagram all the time, but the reel look a little different in a way when you see, oh yeah, this for women. Whether it's the music, is this, is that, just whatever it is. I think a lot of it with women, they just kind of like aesthetics, and I ain't trying to, simplify them, but just a little bit more of that. It's even other programs and stuff like that. Like somebody we was just recently talking to, and honestly, I didn't even think I talked to Denzel about it yet, but Atlanta Storm, and like they got like a big network and flag female football and stuff like that out there. So a lot of those, even out in the DC area, it's a big female flag football scene. So they have a lot of good players and stuff like that too. So and little in the most non-creepy way, little cheerleaders, young athletes, like our baby athletes, stuff like that, because that also like that's catering to your sport moms, your teen moms and stuff like that. So different ages and demographics of women that's involved in sports,
Got you.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you make sure you shop Unison. I love the name. I thought it was unisex. I love the name unisex, unison. I love it. I just love the name. The whole time, like I said, it can cross over. It's not a just man thing. It's not a woman thing. It's a cultural thing.
Bringing everybody together.
Exactly. Bring everybody in. I love the name. You guys are doing great things out here. You guys continue to do great things. Any way highly opinionated can help you guys out. We're willing to help you guys out. So we love what you guys are doing, not only for females, but just the younger generation, making sure they have the equipment that they need, making sure they have the things that they need to perform and be at their best. So we love it. We're grateful for you guys. And make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you shop Unison. That's a great name. And again, like I said, make sure you shop at it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. We were not here last week. Again, hopefully we're the last people to wish you guys a happy new year, but we were not here last week to give our predictions, give our thoughts for week 18. However, we're here to give you our week 18 takeaways. As always, the best co-host in the game. He started us off. Tim, what's your week 18 takeaways?
First one, I told y'all, man. Neighbors is the best wide receiver in this class. Like all that Marvin Harrison, he's it's clearly Malik Neighbors. You watch the kid, he's just different. He's dynamic in ways that Marvin Harrison just isn't. Marvin Harrison is I think he's gonna have a good career, but he just not Malik Neighbors. That's my first one. My second one, man. I know this is gonna sound crazy because they just played. I'm more worried about the Vikings than Detroit. Yeah, I know. I'm crazy. Just the way the style of play of how Detroit, how they run things and what they have to do to win the game. Like, to me, the game plan to beat Detroit, muddy the pocket for Goff. And then defensively, they have to blitz to create pressure and verse the top.
My bad, brother. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you off. You're more concerned about the Lions than you are about the Vikings.
No, I'm more concerned about the Vikings. The Lions.
Oh, you're more concerned about the Vikings than you are about the Lions.
Concerned about the Vikings, especially with what they have on the outside. I like Jameson Williams. I like St. Brown, but they're not Jefferson or Addison. But we saw what you could do to beat them. But Detroit, yeah, I'm not as concerned as I thought I would be. Last one, man. Players like this, man, I couldn't play with them, man. Tyreek Hill is a quitter, man.
More about them than it is about the team. I cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Ain't nobody gonna get him on in the media. Y'all, a lot of teams gonna want him because he played good, but he really just quit on Miami, bro. Where I'm from, you don't get celebrated for stuff like that. Like, he quit. I'm out. Like, what you out from? You signed a contract, right? Why are you out? And that's why I don't think that's why one of the reasons why they contract's not guaranteed to me, because the power thing, like, you out. Like, what you mean you out? Like, you know what I'm saying? If I was a coach or organization, I don't want him. Y'all, I don't want him.
I don't blame you, brother, because the way he left, it was very Antonio Brownish.
Yeah, like, I'm out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all struggled this year, but part of it was because Tua was injured. So, like, let's not act like, you know what I'm saying? Let's not act like it was a reason why y'all struggled. But I'm out. It's like, you just quit on your guys. I ain't a fan of that. So that's y'all boy. Yeah. Last one. What are the Patriots doing, man? So you fired coach after one season with that roster. You fired one, and a lot of people saying y'all fired him because he won the last game. So y'all really rather tank than show football integrity? Like y'all, he got one season, bro. Like, with that roster, the same one that with one of the all-time great coaches of all time was struggling. You give him one season and you get fired? Pats, man, y'all gonna be doomed for that, man. I'm telling y'all, man. Stuff like that come back to you, man. That was it, brother.
Already, brother. I actually agree with the Patriots, but I never understood. I mean, if you was gonna hire Mike Vrabel, you should have hired Mike Vrabel last year. He was a free agent.
You know what I'm saying?
Last year. It makes no sense.
Man? Why give him once? You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it's like,
Gerard Mayo was set up to fail, and Robert Kraft said that in his press conference. Like, bro, like you like he had a rookie quarterback. Y'all didn't even start the rookie quarterback. It started Jacoby Brissett. So it was like y'all really set him up for failure. Like, it was never for him to win. So,
and I hate, not to bring race in there, but I hate when, like, a black coach take one of them jobs, because it's like, it seemed like you don't get the leeway as other coaches. You feel me? Like, it's you one and done. Raheem Morris. I'm not saying I mean, Kirk Cousins had an epic letdown, but he might be on the hot seat too. And that's not all his. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like 1 year. It take more than 1 year. Build something. I'm
not as a Tampa Bay fan. I'm not obviously constructed to talk about the Falcons. This all I'm gonna say to you about the Falcons. I'll just leave it at this. The Falcons hired the defensive coach. Tim, I'm gonna just ask you. At the time they hired Raheem Morris, was Raheem Morris the best defensive coach available? Simple yes or no. He wasn't. So at that point, you leave yourself open to be criticized. What the Patriots did, you should have never did that. You should have never made Gerard Mayo the coach and wait. You should have just let the search be open, and then you can start over and do whatever you wanted to do. So for me, I agree with you on that. Gerard Mayo never had a chance. It was never fair. He never had a chance to win, and they showed it. From my observations, I'll start us off. So Tim told you guys that Tim was more worried about the Vikings than he was the Lions. I agree with that. My takeaway from Sam Darnold was Sam Darnold. And I'm not trying to disrespect him off one game. I'm not trying to do that at all. There are certain moments, if you watch football, there are certain moments when you watch a game and you're like, okay, that dude should have caught that. The defensive player should have caught that. 2 weeks ago, Sam Darnold was in Seattle. The defensive back had an interception right in his hands. He dropped it. The next play, Justin Jefferson caught a touchdown. That's the 6 degrees of separation between Sam Darnold. I've had plenty of people tell me Minnesota should do whatever it takes to get Sam Darnold back. I'm not disagreeing with that. But when you start talking about $45, $50 million, I disagree with that. He's not worth that. He's not. He's the product of his environment. That's fine. I know a guy that's in Tampa that's a product of his environment. I happen so just to like him. That's fine. Baker Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I'm talking about. But what Sam Darnold has, he has an offensive coach, one of the best receivers in the game. You feel me? He has an offensive playground around him. So for me, when Sam Darnold struggles, I look at that more vividly than I do somebody else struggling that has a defensive coach that's coaching them struggle. So for me, I hope Sam Darnold can get his stuff together. They play the Rams on Monday night in the wild card round. Hopefully Sam Darnold can get his thing together. Secondly, my second takeaway. I agree with you, brother. The Patriots. What the hell are you doing? You guys knew damn well Gerard Mayo was set up for failure. Y'all hired him and then fired him after 1 year. You guys told me that he was a replacement for Bill Belichick. So you trying to tell me you would give Bill Belichick 1 year and then you fire him? Absolutely not. Gerard Mayo was set up for failure. He was in the let me say this. Before the season started, I had high hopes for the Jets. I had high hopes for the Dolphins. He was in the division with the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Bills. He wasn't going to win that. So he was set up to fail. He had a rookie quarterback. You guys gave him Jacoby Brissett with no offensive weapons. Come on, New England. Y'all better than that. Robert Kraft, you should be ashamed of yourself. Don't fire that man after 1 year. Give him a chance. My next takeaway, thank God, Seattle. Hopefully Tampa Bay can take advantage of their being the 3 seed, but Seattle did Tampa Bay a service. Seattle beat the Rams. They allowed Tampa Bay to be the 3 seed. I feel like the 3 seed is a lot easier than being the 4 seed. The 4 seed, you have to face a 13 win team. The 3 seed, you have to face the Washington Commanders. I think even you, Tim. Tim, I'll ask you. Who would you rather face, the Vikings or the Commanders?
Commanders.
There you go. So I feel like that Tampa Bay did well with that. Shout out to Baker Mayfield. Shout out to my guy, Jalen McMullen. That touchdown catch in the end zone. That was a hell of a throw, hell of a catch. Shout out to him. My last takeaway, and I will take this from my compadre. He texted me this on Sunday. The Buccaneers won the South. Congratulations. But watching them games, Week 18, the NFC South, they deserve no team. Tampa Bay, you played like trash in the first half. Only reason why you won is because you played the Saints. The Atlanta Falcons. Say, Tim, I want you to repeat after me. Say it with me. The Falcons. Say it with me. The Falcons. No. Say it with me, Tim. The Falcons.
Oh, man.
No,
we got life, man. We got life, man. Penix. Don't say the Falcons. Say the
No. I'm not talking about Penix, bro. I'm talking about the team. Come on, bro. Say it with me. The Falcons. Come on, bro.
The Falcons.
The Falcons will Falcon.
Will Falcon.
And ladies and gentlemen, you don't know what that means? That means the Falcons will fuck up. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the Falcons had a chance to win the game at home against Bryce Young. Bryce Young was out there doing this. That's what he was doing. He was out there doing no looks. That's what he was doing because he's out there throwing touchdown passes. Raheem Morris, I got respect for him. I feel like he's a great defensive coordinator. The Falcons will always Falcon. Ladies and gentlemen, you saw that when they was up 28-3 against Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. They will Falcon. I'm disappointed in the Falcons. You should have won that game at home. You should have won that play. You should have won that game at home. Not saying Tampa would have lost to the Saints, but come on now. Y'all should have been better than that. Those were our Week 18 takeaways. You're watching Highly Opinionated. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of Highly Opinionated is sponsored by Wolves of War. In some of the episodes, you can see my co-host and Ross wearing a brand called Wolves of War. Wolves of War is our first sponsor, ladies and gentlemen, and we are so thankful to have those guys sponsoring Highly Opinionated. Thank you very much. The actual meaning of Wolves of War is that it represents having a strong path behind you through the battles of life. With the right people behind you, you can get through anything. You guys see the link for Wolves of War? Make sure you guys click on the link, shop, great apparels, t-shirts, sweatsuits, whatever you want, they have. Once again, Wolves of War. Make sure you guys go shop. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. Tim, the best time of the year. NFL playoff time, brother. Wild card weekend. You go from wild card weekend to divisional weekend, conference championship weekend. We get the Pro Bowl in between. got the Super Bowl to be the last game of the season. Let's start off with Wild Card Weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, you see this beautiful graphic from the best producer in the game, Ross. He is the best in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start us off with the games on Saturday. The Chargers travel to Houston, the 5 seed in the AFC. The Chargers travel to the 4 seed Houston Texans. The Chargers are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 42.5. Ladies and gentlemen, I will start us off with this one. I am taking the Chargers. I'm taking Jim Harbaugh. I'm taking Justin Herbert. I'm taking J.K. Dobbins. I'm taking that fierce defense with Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Derwin James. Give me the Chargers on the road. Before you go, Tim, this game is on CBS at 4:30. Iron Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn will be on the call. As I said before, I like the Chargers. My brother, who you like?
Yeah, man. I'm just hoping the Chargers stop Joe Mixon. If they stop Joe Mixon, they should win this game. So I'm going with the Chargers. I think Herbert, he's about to start to show you why a lot of people think he's ranked highly, especially me. So I think he's about to show y'all in this playoff run. So give me the Chargers.
Hey, wait a minute, bro. What you doing? Why
Oh,
are you trying to disrespect my love with Justin Herbert?
You
You
know
petty,
what I'm
bro.
saying?
Stop doing that.
Stop
doing it. Yeah, I've been on Herbert since day one. My God. Been on him since day one. No. Tim, ladies and gentlemen, Tim been on Justin Herbert. We've had plenty of text messages, heated exchanges about Justin Herbert. We agree. I like the Chargers to win. Big key in this game. Both teams cannot stop the run. The Chargers can't stop the run. The Texans can't stop the run. However, the reason why I'm taking the Chargers, I think the Chargers have a better offensive line and defensive line than the Texans. The Texans' offensive line is struggling. I think Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Tillery, I think those guys are eat. Give me the Chargers. Tim, you don't mind me speaking for you. Give my compadre and we both like the Chargers on the road Saturday, 4:30 on CBS. Ladies and gentlemen, you couldn't ask for a better playoff game at 8 o'clock. If you're from the DMV area, you could not ask for a better playoff game. You get round 3 of the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Baltimore Ravens Saturday, 8 o'clock on Amazon Prime. The great Al Michaels, Kurt Herbstreit, Kelly Hartine on the call. Tim, the world wants to know if you're gonna hate on the Ravens this week, bro. Don't let the world hate. Don't let the world wait long enough, bro. Let them know who you like.
Yo, so crazy thing about this game, right? Everything was like on my notes. I had one team, and then I flipped when I just got hit, right? So on my notes, I had the Ravens.
Okay.
But for some reason, something telling me Pittsburgh gonna shock the world. They've been playing terribly offensively. I don't know if you recently saw the thing. They was taunting George Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
I think that kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't have done it, but so I think the Steelers, man. I think they about to shock the world, man. I was leaning Ravens, but I feel like the Ravens feel like I don't know. I ain't really like that gesture. Like I just feel like certain things you don't do to motivate. I mean, y'all already hate each other anyway, but like it's like add fuel to the fire. And you know the Steelers actually play well versus the Ravens normally. Like last game, Russ turned the ball over twice, so that was really the difference. But if he play a clean game, you know that's going to be a low-scoring game. But something's still telling me Ravens. I'm gonna take the Ravens in a close one.
You'll take the Ravens in a close one.
Yeah.
Ravens are favored by 9.5. Over under is 43.5. I like the Steelers to cover the 9.5. But I'm agreeing with you. I think the Ravens will. I'm definitely taking Steelers plus 9.5. That's crazy. I mean, I know Russell Wilson's Steelers offense has been bad, but goddamn, wait, ain't that bad. I'm taking the Steelers plus 9.5. I think the Ravens will win the game. Yeah. I think the Ravens have the better team. Derrick Henry, Mark Andrews, Isaiah Likely. The Ravens will more likely than not be without Zay Flowers. So I feel like that would be. Go ahead, Tim. Yeah, they won't have Zay Flowers. I don't think they'll have Zay Flowers. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, no Zay. I'm going Pittsburgh.
Oh, you changed your pick. You go from Baltimore to Pittsburgh. You like Pittsburgh?
No Zay, I'm going Pittsburgh. I don't trust. Yeah. I'm going Pittsburgh. Yeah,
Pittsburgh?
I'm going Pittsburgh.
Okay. I'm going to take the Baltimore Ravens at home. I think it'll be a close game. I know the last time they played, it was 34-17. Ladies and gentlemen, that was not indicative of the score. The game was close. Russell Wilson fumbled in the red zone. Certain things happened. I'm taking the Ravens, but I like the Steelers plus 9.5. I think the Ravens will advance Saturday night at M&T Bank. There will not be a robbery at the bank Saturday night. Give me the Ravens. Sunday at 1 o'clock, 1:05 Eastern on CBS, you have the Denver Broncos at the Buffalo Bills. This is another point spread that's extremely high. The Denver Broncos are favored by 8.5. The over-under is 46.5. I'll start us off, brother. By the way, Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wilson, Jay Fairley will be on the call. I am taking the Buffalo Bills, but I like the Denver Broncos plus 8.5. The Denver Broncos, when we gave out our awards in the last segment, I had 2 Denver Broncos on my awards as second and third. Nick Bonito was third. Patrick Surtain is number 2. I think the Denver Broncos can play defense. Sean Payton will have Bo Nix ready. I like the Buffalo Bills, but I like the Broncos plus 9.5, plus 8.5. I'm sorry.
That spread seems a little too high for me as well. I do like the Bills. I think they do win by a touchdown, though. I think they're going to show, like, it's levels. Like, Josh Allen going to show us a level above Bo Nix. Like,
Absolutely.
I think Josh Allen just going to make certain plays that you really just can't teach. And they're going to get the W. So, give me the Bills.
Give you the Bills. Okay, we both like the Bills. Next game, Sunday, 4:30 Eastern. Around between 4:30 and 4:40 Eastern, depending on depending on what the Broncos and the Bills game end. We have the Packers at the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are favored by 4.5. The over-under is 45.5. This game is on Fox. Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady, the great announcer, Tom Brady. Tim, I know you love Tom Brady as an announcer. Tom Brady as the announcer. You have Aaron Andrews and Tom Rinaldi as your reporter, as your sideline reporters. I will start us off. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do a show with a Philadelphia Eagles fan. There would be nothing more in my life that would make me feel good than the Philadelphia Eagles to lose. Jalen Hurts has not cleared concussion protocol. And for that, I would probably take the Packers. I want the Packers to win. You guys will understand why I want the Packers to win in our next pick for the Sunday night game on NBC. I would love the Packers to win. That means the Packers will go to Detroit. That means the Rams will go to Tampa. But I think the Philadelphia Eagles will find a way to win. So give me the Eagles at home riding the offensive player of the year, Saquon Barkley. Philly, I ain't turn my back on Saquon like that guy on the right hand side did. Give me the Eagles at home. I like the Eagles to win the game at home. By the way, Tim, before you go, no Jair Alexander. That is extremely big. Tim thinks that A.J. Brown is one of the, if not the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the league. I agree with that. If you don't have Jair Alexander to contain him, I think A.J. Brown has a big game, whether it's Kenny Pickett or Jalen Hurts. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles at home to win this game.
Yeah, man. Like if y'all been watching, hopefully y'all been watching faithfully. Remember when the young man Chris told me it was levels to this wide receiver thing?
Yes, Chris did tell you that.
He told me that, right? So I think it's levels to these two teams. Like I think the Philly is on a level above Green Bay. Like Green Bay, cool, but it's nothing special. I think Green Bay, they best bet to me is they better hope Jalen Hurts looks a little rusty early. That's if he plays. I don't know. I'm assuming he will play. I don't know. I didn't get the update yet. But that's their best chance if Jalen is rusty early and they can make some plays. But I don't see it happen. I think Philly wins by double digits.
We both like the Eagles. Ladies and gentlemen, in the game of the week for me, Sunday night, NBC, the great Mike Tirico, Chris Collinsworth, Melissa Stark on the call. This is a game, ladies and gentlemen, quite frankly, I did not think would be Sunday night. Shout out to Jaden Daniels. He's my offensive rookie of the year. The Washington Commanders travel to Tampa Bay in a rematch of Week 1. Sunday night, 8 o'clock, NBC. I think you guys know who I'm picking, so let me let my compadre start us off first. Tim, who you like? Commanders of the Buccaneers?
Yo, so y'all know I do my deep film study dive, right? So I was like, could Tampa really win this game, right? So I'm like, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no hater. You know what I'm saying? I don't like them, but I ain't no hater.
Yeah, you ain't no hater. You just a
You know
hater.
what I'm saying?
Go ahead,
You
though.
know what I'm
Go ahead.
saying?
You ain't no hater. You just a hater. Go ahead, though. Go ahead.
It's like, no, but no, all seriously. I think Washington, like, you know, like some people just do for things, right? I just think they do for a playoff win. Like,
Okay.
both teams, I'm not going to say they not equal in talent because I think Mike Evans is better than, well, I don't know. I actually like Terry Malone. No disrespect to Mike Evans. Y'all know how I feel about Mike Evans. I think he just consistently good, but there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, like I think both defenses aren't good, but I think they do have the Mike Evans stopper and Marcus Lattimore. So like, you know,
Marshawn, my bad.
my fault. Marshawn Lattimore, and you know, they like to get physical. He gonna try to get him out of this game, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going Washington, man. I think Jaden Daniels has a pretty good game versus Tampa defense. I expect this one to be kind of like a 28-24 type of game.
Close game, good game.
Yeah, it should be a good game. I don't see nobody getting blown out.
Yeah, I don't need. I agree with you that it'll be a close game. I am very scared as a Tampa Bay Baker Mayfield fan about the Washington Commanders. We gave up 88 yards rushing to Jaden Daniels in the first week. I rewatched that game 3 times already, getting ready for this wild card game. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to make a go ahead.
Not to cut you off, right? So as a Philly fan, I wanted to play Green Bay rather than Daniels just because that run aspect. Like that joint, like quarterbacks that can run scare you because on third downs, you play man, their backs turn. So he gets run for first down and extend drive. So I agree. Yeah. That's something to watch.
But for me against Washington, you don't have to play man on third down. You can play zone. As long as you got somebody around McLaurin, the rest of them guys, they average or below average. McCaffrey, the rookie. I do like Zach Ertz. He's a veteran. I do like him, but I think that matchup between him and Levante David, I like that matchup. So, but I'm gonna take Tampa. I'm constructively obligated to take Tampa just because of my love for Baker Mayfield. But I think Tampa can find a way to win this game. I think Tampa's underrated. I think a lot of people will sleep on Tampa because they played bad against the Saints in Week 18. That's a division rival. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just say this. The Ravens and the Browns, it was 14-3 at halftime. The Browns were in the game at halftime. You feel me? With that fourth-string quarterback. So I think Tampa will come out and be ready. Tampa has to stop the middle of the field. They have to stop Jaden Daniels. I think that they will. I think Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback currently than Jaden Daniels. So give me the better quarterback. Give me Baker Mayfield. Give me the Buccaneers at home. I like the Buccaneers to win on Sunday Night Football. Let's fast forward to Monday night. Monday night, 8 o'clock, between 8:15 on ESPN, ABC. You have the Minnesota Vikings at the Los Angeles Rams. I'll start us off first. I am taking the Rams. These guys played in the regular season before. The Rams beat them in the regular season before. I'm taking the Rams to beat them at home again. I did not like what I saw from Sam Darnold. He showed me what I always thought of him, which is if you get pressure on him, you could easily get to him. So for me, I think the Rams with Brandon Fisk, the defensive tackle, Jared Verse, the edge rusher. I like the Rams to win at home. Give me the Rams to beat the Vikings at home.
Yeah, see, I would see the Rams' offense look mediocre the last 3 weeks, so I'm not really sold on them. I think the Vikings have a better defense as well. Also, I think Sam Darnold is going to be able to throw the ball on the Rams just because the secondary is not as good as Detroit. So give me the Vikings. I think Sam Darnold throws for 275 and 2 touchdowns. Give me the Vikings.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's playoff time, NFL playoff time. You heard me and Tim's picks. Can't wait to see you guys back next week. We go over the games next week and preview the divisional round. You're watching Highly Opinionated. It's our last break. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Highly Opinionated. We'll end the show like we always do, giving some love to basketball, college basketball. As you guys see, the schedule is out. The marquee games for this week. Tim, what marquee game this week are you looking forward to?
Texas A&M versus Oklahoma. I love the guard at Texas A&M, Wade Taylor, one of my favorite college players currently. change the pace. Real good point guard. Like him a lot. Like the big man Henry Coleman. So I would like to see them going to road versus Oklahoma. That should be a good game. And the other one I would like to check out would be Alabama. Well, Alabama versus A&M as well. So A&M got a little schedule this week. So they at Oklahoma on Wednesday, and then on Saturday they play Alabama at home. So I want to see how they play in with a schedule like that. 2 tough games within 2 days apart.
Absolutely. Again, I agree with you on that. The SEC is tough, especially in basketball. There's 16 teams in the conference.
Basketball.
Basketball. Here he go. Here he go. Here he go with his BS again. Here you go. The SEC is tough in basketball and football. However, this is basketball season, so I'll strictly stick to basketball. They have 16 teams in the conference. 13 teams can make the NCAA tournament out of the SEC, ladies and gentlemen. I've done my research. Trust my word on that. 13 teams can make the NCAA tournament. I will give one another key game for the SEC. Number 6 Kentucky and number 14 Mississippi State. That's Saturday at 8:30. That's another big game for the SEC. Ladies and gentlemen, when you watch college basketball this season, you will see a lot of marquee matchups in the SEC. Like I said, 13 out of the 16 teams in the SEC can make the NCAA tournament. For me, my marquee game, since you stole all the SEC games, you SEC hater, you stole all of them from me. I am going to go to Friday night. Number 22, UCLA at Maryland. I feel like Maryland is a borderline NCAA team. I feel like the win against UCLA and all the good guards and the good team that they have with Nick Cronin as the head coach, I feel like that could propel Maryland to finish out, and not to finish out, but propel Maryland to have a good season. So I'm looking forward to that game. Number 22, UCLA at Maryland, 8 o'clock. That game is on Fox, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you watch.
That boy, not to cut you off, that boy Derek Queen from Maryland.
He's a problem, bro. He's a very good player. Very good player.
Real special.
Very good player. Big man, can do everything. Can do anything you want him to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I think to me, ladies and gentlemen, the 2 best conferences in college basketball, the SEC is number 1. The Big 12 is number 2. Big 12 has Houston, Kansas, Arizona State, Arizona. These teams are loaded. So shout out to the Big 12. Baylor, Oklahoma State, Texas Tech, all those guys. So I think the best conference is the SEC. The second best conference is the Big 12. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for watching episode 20 of Highly Opinionated. You saw our first time with 3 guests on at the same time. We thank those 3 guests for coming on. We can't wait to have those guys back. For the best producer in the game, Ross. For the best co-host in the game, Tim. I'm merely Josh. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you guys next week. We out.
Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all watch the whole episode.
Watch the whole episode and watch Wild Card Weekend. We out, baby.